Tonight, the U.S. military's deadly strike on another Venezuelan boat allegedly transporting drugs. The new video posted by President Trump appearing to show the moment the boat is blasted out of the water, leaving 3 people dead. The president calling them terrorists killed in action. But Venezuela's leader says the U.S. military is targeting fishermen, all of it a stunt to start a new war. Also breaking tonight, the president detailing plans to send the National Guard into Memphis, what he just said inside the Oval Office. Plus, the new evidence in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The FBI revealing DNA was found on a towel and a screwdriver near the scene, matching the suspect. Plus, the video game some say the alleged assassin was referencing with the strange messages he inscribed on bullet casings. Also tonight, it's the biggest security operation since the coronation of the King of England. Snipers, drones, and speedboats at the ready to protect President Trump during his historic state visit. Our nightly news exclusive, the number of kids in America getting vaccines plummeting.
We're just in a waiting phase before measles just comes and rocks the state of Missouri.
Our exclusive data and how you can learn more about vaccine rates where you live. Is there a TikTok deal? What we know about the new agreement framework with China. The fiery crash, a train slamming full speed into a semi-truck. All of it caught on camera. And call it the original selfie inside the analog photo booths that have been printing instant photo strips for a century. Now beloved by a whole new generation. Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
And good evening. Just moments ago, President Trump announced a deadly strike against a Venezuelan ship he says was carrying drugs, the second one this month. The president posting this video. Take a good look. He says it shows the moment U.S. military forces carried out what he calls a kinetic strike in international waters. 3 people on board were killed. President Trump tonight describing them as, quote, confirmed narco-terrorists who were transporting illegal narcotics. It's the second strike in recent weeks, heightening an already tense relationship with Venezuela. Tonight, that country's president is also speaking out. We begin tonight at the White House with Kelly O'Donnell.
New tonight, another deadly U.S. military strike, a second this month against a Venezuelan target. President Trump posted this 26-second video, marked unclassified. A boat bobbing at sea. Suddenly a blinding flash and apparent destruction. Flames engulfed the vessel. On my orders, the president wrote, the strike resulted in 3 male terrorists killed in action. The White House has not made evidence public, but the president said the boat carried confirmed narco-terrorists who were transporting illegal narcotics and described the impact late today to reporters.
We're seeing that there's like no ships, when the first one we went, there were hundreds of boats. Now there are no boats. I wonder why. Meaning no drugs are coming across, probably stopping some fishermen, too.
According to the Trump administration, this strike and a similar attack on another boat earlier this month happened in international waters. Certain gangs named as foreign terrorists. The president with a stark warning tonight.
We're telling the cartels right now, we're going to be stopping them, too. When they come by land, we're going to be stopping them the same way we stopped the boats.
The White House has labeled the government of longtime leader Nicolas Maduro a, quote, narco-terror cartel. Maduro has called U.S. actions against boats an embarrassment to the international community.
And Kelly joins us now. Kelly, you're tracking another major headline, President Trump announcing he'll expand his crime crackdown to Memphis.
That's right. The president signed a memo today to send a range of federal agents and National Guard into Memphis with the support of the Republican governor and senators to address crime. I also just spoke to the attorney general, who told me that the Justice Department will probe whether liberal political groups are engaged in organizing violence at protests. And the DOJ could consider racketeering laws to go after left-leaning groups. Tom?
All right, Kelly O'Donnell leading us off. Now to the investigation of the assassination of Charlie Kirk and that new report. The suspect appeared to have confessed. Here's Morgan Chesky with the late-breaking details.
Tonight, a chilling portrait emerging of the suspect police say assassinated Charlie Kirk. The Washington Post reports, citing 2 people familiar and a screenshot. He appeared to confess in an online group chat. before turning himself in, writing, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." The FBI director revealing 2 pieces of evidence had the suspect's DNA, a towel wrapped around the murder weapon, and a screwdriver found on the roof, saying the suspect had a hatred of Kirk.
His family has collectively told investigators that he subscribed to left-wing ideology, and he had a text message exchange, he the suspect, with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for.
The FBI now investigating if anyone had information before the shooting and did not tell authorities. President Trump was asked if the suspect worked alone.
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you he didn't work alone on the internet, because it seems that he became radicalized on the internet.
Here at Utah County Jail, authorities say that Tyler Robinson is now on a special watch status, meaning even closer supervision, adding he'll stay there until passing a mental health evaluation.
The FBI saying they're also speaking to his roommate, who authorities say he was romantically involved with.
We can confirm that that roommate is a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female, so we know that piece. I will say that that person has been very cooperative with authorities.
While the arrow symbols on one of the suspect's alleged inscriptions on unfired rounds, which follows the message, "Hey fascist, catch," may be related to controller moves to drop bombs in the video game Helldivers 2. Kirk was married with 2 young children. The vice president today hosting his podcast.
Get involved, get involved, get involved. It's the best way to honor Charlie's legacy.
Morgan joins us now live. Morgan, the crime scene there just behind you, and we can see that American flag now hanging over it. Yeah, Tom, that's right. And this was just hung up ahead of the campus reopening on Wednesday. That is when students are expected to return. Staff allowed back today, but all eyes go to tomorrow. That's when formal charges will be coming against this suspect. Tom. A big day tomorrow. Morgan, we thank you. And tonight, we're also hearing from the vice president about the administration's efforts to crack down on liberals they say are to blame for political violence. It comes as several employers have fired people for their comments about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Here's Courtney Cubey.
The Trump administration's effort to find and punish Americans who criticize Charlie Kirk intensifying.
So when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. And hell, call their employer.
Some employers already firing or suspending people for their posts about Kirk, impacting teachers, commercial pilots, doctors, and even NFL staff. Today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio floated revoking critics' visas.
We should not be giving visas to people who are going to come to the United States and do things like celebrate the murder, the execution, the assassination of a political figure.
2 defense officials telling NBC News Secretary Pete Hegseth has directed his staff to look for posts from service members. Pentagon leaders quickly getting behind that policy. The Marines say they fired a recruiter for an alleged post about Kirk's death reading, "Another racist man popped." Experts say expect those firings to be challenged in court.
Simply saying unpleasant things or unflattering things or things you just disagree with concerning another person who's not a public official, who was never a public official, I think cannot be punished by any part of the government.
On social media, people who've criticized Kirk are being called out, their names and photos widely circulated, some using the hashtag revolutionaries in the ranks. One post about an Army officer who allegedly shared direct quotes from Kirk has been viewed more than 7 million times.
They're not giving up their First Amendment rights when they swear an oath to serve in the military.
Absolutely not. They may apply somewhat differently, but the principle is the same.
One of those differences, officers are not allowed to criticize the president or elected officials. Tom?
All right, Courtney, we thank you. In the wake of the assassination, the UK is now planning one of the biggest security operations in years as President Trump is set to meet with the royal family. Rav Sanchez is at Windsor Castle.
Tonight, the UK preparing to welcome President Trump with full military honors and a protective ring of steel thrown around Windsor Castle, where he'll stay as a guest of King Charles, the first American president to make 2 state visits to Britain. Police say hundreds of armed officers and snipers will be deployed, a striking show of force in a country where police are rarely armed.
Residents of Windsor and visitors to Windsor are used to seeing a fairly high police presence, including armed police. However, for this state visit, they will see an increase in those numbers.
With military helicopters above London and police speedboats patrolling the River Thames.
There's going to be a no-fly zone imposed here. Officers are especially concerned about somebody trying to fly a drone over the castle walls and into the grounds.
That's because Buckingham Palace says President Trump and the First Lady are scheduled to ride with the royals in an open carriage, similar to when the French president visited earlier this year. But for security reasons, the Trump's carriage ride will be kept inside the castle grounds and hidden from the public. An unprecedented presidential visit secured by one of the biggest police operations Britain has ever seen. Raf Sanchez, NBC News, Windsor.
Back here at home to Colorado, where we're learning new details about the teenage gunman who police say shot 2 students at his school. New analysis shows disturbing online patterns he and other alleged mass shooters share. Here's Dana Griffin.
Disturbing new details about the Evergreen High School shooter in Colorado. 16-year-old Desmond Holley was active on a violent gore website tied to 2 other recent school shooters who in the past year have used the site before carrying out attacks, according to a report by the Anti-Defamation League. The organization also reporting the teen may have had plans to live stream the attack.
He had been on our radar since at least July.
The ADL says they didn't know his name, but had social media posts that raised red flags this summer. Those posts were shared with law enforcement, according to the ADL.
This particular website is filled with the types of content that glorifies previous mass shooters, whether they're school shooters or extremist shooters. It provides an opportunity for users to signal back and interact with one another.
The FBI telling NBC News they opened an assessment in July into the social media account but could not identify its user. Therefore, there was no probable cause for an arrest or additional law enforcement action. The morning of the shooting, the ADL says Holley posted this photo of a revolver on X, the same type of gun officials say he used to shoot 2 students last week before killing himself.
Right now, children are killing other children, and they have these websites that are the common thread.
The ADL says online, Holley also expressed neo-Nazi views. A law enforcement source telling NBC News they found anti-Semitic items inside his home. As for the victims, both remain hospitalized as the entire community tries to heal. Dana Griffin, NBC News.
All right, now to that major headline about TikTok, that a framework for a deal is in place that would allow the app to stay active in the U.S. Savannah Sellers joins us now live. And Savannah, what do we know about this deal?
Yeah, Tom, this was big news out of these trade talks today. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying the framework will allow TikTok's Chinese parent company to spin off the app and avoid that U.S. ban. Bessent stressing that U.S. national security also comes first in this deal. That was the big issue here, right? Lawmakers were worried the app's Chinese government ties meant Americans' data was not safe. The company, though, denies that. The deal would give TikTok American ownership, though I will stress we do not know who it is yet. President Trump and China's President Xi will talk Friday and confirm the details. Tom?
All right, Savannah, great to have you here. We appreciate it. And we'll be right back with our exclusive reporting. You may be surprised what happens when you type your county name into our new vaccine database. Childhood vaccine rates plummeting across the country. Where and what it means for you and your family. That's next. Welcome back. For the last 6 months, NBC News, in collaboration with Stanford University, has been gathering extensive data on vaccination rates from counties in all 50 states. What we found is striking. Stephanie Gosk has our story.
To go to Premier Charter School in St. Louis, students have to be up to date on their vaccines. And go. School nurse Virginia Wilson makes sure they are.
Right. So it's a big chunk of your job in the beginning of the school year.
It is my entire job at the beginning of the school year.
And she says it's getting harder.
How many kindergartners this year needed vaccines?
We're probably for our school around like 20% need them.
NBC News medical unit and researchers at Stanford University crunched school immunization data from every state. In St. Louis City, from the 2010 school year to 2024, the number of kindergartners fully vaccinated against measles has dropped from nearly 90% to 74%.
We're just in a waiting phase before measles just comes and rocks the state of Missouri.
The vaccination rate is well below herd immunity and 3 points lower than Gaines County, Texas, the epicenter of a measles outbreak earlier this year.
I'm surprised and shocked, and it's scary.
Emily and Ryan Pratt's 9-year-old daughter Lucy has a potentially life-threatening autoimmune disease. Every month she gets an infusion to slow it down, and she takes daily medications that suppress her immune system, all the while going to 4th grade in a St. Louis public school.
She's doing normal elementary school kid things.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's terrifying to have to choose and know that there's going to be risk no matter what we choose. One child or adult could cause an outbreak that she potentially would have life-threatening illnesses or complications from.
The vaccination rates in St. Louis City are especially low, but in a 6-month analysis of counties nationwide, NBC News discovered that since 2019, 77% of American counties have seen vaccination rates decline. In low-income areas, access to vaccines is a challenge, and that is combining with growing hesitancy.
It is playing Russian roulette with your babies.
Often spread by vaccine skeptics on social media.
I wholeheartedly believe in not vaccinating.
Well, in the federal government, U.S. Health Secretary RFK Jr. has publicly questioned the safety and efficacy of vaccines. He also recently dismissed an entire panel of vaccine experts and ousted the CDC director. In Missouri, the law mandates children be immunized to attend school unless they have a health or religious exemption. The St. Louis School District declined our request for an interview, but the district's head nurse told NBC News that schools are not strictly enforcing vaccination rules. They want kids to stay in the classroom instead. She tells us that last year there was a school where nearly 200 students were attending who were not fully vaccinated. In a statement, the school district told us it is actively working to address the issue, and their priority is the health and well-being of their students, while adding the real-world application of the vaccination policy can be challenging. The Pratt family would like to see more done.
There needs to be a concerted effort to say we need the vaccination rate to increase, and this is how we're going to do it.
Sounds like what you're looking for is a plan.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to have a plan, yes.
And acknowledgement of the problem. I think to get a plan, we have to acknowledge there's a problem.
Stephanie joins us now in studio. Stephanie, here's the incredible tool. How does it work?
Yeah, so county by county, this is going to show you that this particular map, it's the measles vaccine. The darker shades are lower vaccination rates. Let's take a closer look at Jefferson County, Kentucky. You see there 64.9% of kindergartners are fully vaccinated for measles there. That is well below herd immunity. This is on our website. It's now live, NBCnews.com/vaccine divide.
All right, Stephanie Gosk, we thank you. We're back in a moment with some wild video. The fiery full-speed crash between a light rail train and a semi-truck, all caught on camera. Stay with us. We're back now with video of a fiery crash out of Phoenix. Take a look at this surveillance video capturing the moment a semi-truck collided with a light rail train Sunday night. There were about 20 passengers on board that train, according to the local fire captain, all of them uninjured. He said the driver of the truck was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And a stunning image out of Mexico City. Look at this, a delivery truck carrying soda collapsing into a sinkhole right in the middle of the road there. You can see the front cab sticking out as the trunk sunk deeper into the hole. No injuries reported here, according to local media. When we come back, a picture-perfect way to end the show. The memory saved for a full century behind the curtain of the photo booth. That's next. Finally, remember the thrill of waiting for the countdown, striking that pose, seeing that flash go off, and then bam, getting a photo strip of those memories frozen in time. Well, there's good news tonight for old school photo booths now making a big comeback. Here's Joe Fryer.
On the streets of New York, a new generation is discovering an old friend.
Oh, that one's so cute.
Old Friend is the name of this analog photo booth with a young fan base.
So you got a digital phone in your hand. Why do you need a photo booth? Because those pictures turn out really cool.
Madeline Ruska insisted on spending her 13th birthday here.
How did you hear about this photo booth?
TikTok. Fitting when you consider this revitalized relic is owned by a Gen Z couple.
Hearing people smile, there's nothing like it.
Brandon Minton and Zoe Lazarson say on a busy day, wait times for an $8 session can reach an hour.
I think it's special, but I also have no idea why.
No, I know why. People don't get to experience a tangible photo.
And that's why these antiques are growing in popularity, with about 200 now in circulation around the world.
Everything makes a comeback.
Brianna Conley-Saxon is actually opening a photo booth gallery and museum in Manhattan called Auto Photo.
What do you hope they get out of it?
A photo to document a memory that they'll never forget.
Museum celebrates exactly 100 years since a man named Anatole Josepho invented the technology.
These days, a lot of analog photo booths are inside bars, which means not everyone can access them. But here at Auto Photo, anyone can flash a smile and get a strip of pics.
It's more than a snapshot. It's a century-long tradition that's still developing. Joe Fryer, NBC News.
All right, that does it for us. That's Nightly News for this Monday. I'm Tom Llamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight, and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.